Ron Harrison here from Be Rhythmic, where we believe in a world where people can heal, grow, be moved and feel good through music. Okay, so you've made it into a band or orchestra. Clearly you know how to play music. But what about the other stuff? Everything else you need to know, that is, well, not playing music. It may seem obvious, though you will be surprised with how many people get this important percussion etiquette wrong. If you want to be a professional, expand your percussion performance career, or show leadership to others, follow these simple do's and don'ts and give yourself a head start to be a superior percussionist. I'd like to preface this by saying I have a lot of parents contact me and they wonder why it is that their child isn't on the drum kit all the time. I highly recommend that you listen to this podcast and have a listen to some of the benefits of being a percussionist and why it's important to share that role around. So, to start with, but I spend so much time waiting. I've got some blunt news for you. That is just part of the deal of being a percussionist. Like it or leave it. As a percussionist, you are going to be counting lots of bars rest, waiting for your entry, or playing one triangle ting in a 20-minute movement. Here is the deal. The benefit is you are the only one playing your part. Unlike string players or brass or woodwind players where there's a lot of people playing the same part, you have a unique part. And guess what? It sticks out like a sore thumb, which is why it's important to get it right. But yes, I hear you. There will be times where you will need to exercise extreme patience. This is one of the wonderful things about being a percussionist. Patience. The other good thing about this very important personal characteristic is this. Having or not having patience very quickly distinguishes the players that are worth having in the percussion section and the ones that, well, as a conductor, you might be happy to say goodbye to. Be patient. Patience is not the ability to wait, but how you act while you are waiting. Joyce Meyer. Care of instruments. Never place anything on top of an instrument. This means anything. No music folders, no food, no nothing. The only exception is mallets for the instrument in the absence of a percussion table. Changeover. This is super quick. Running from one side of the percussion section to the other in between pieces, quickly tuning a timpani and then being ready to go before you can say, planned, purposeful percussionists propagate impactful percussion playing. Some pointers. For performances, have your music in order so that you're not frantically flipping through your book trying to find the next piece. You do need to change over quickly and quietly. Everyone is staring at you. While the whole orchestra waits for you to be ready, make sure that you impress everyone by showing them how quickly and calmly and effectively and efficiently you can get from one side of the percussion section to the other and changing your instruments. Plan ahead. If you have a multi-percussion part that involves a crash cymbal, a ratchet, and some wind chimes, be sure that you have all three percussion instruments set up in advance. Practice. Imagine playing in a footy team or a doubles tennis match, and after training you go home and practice, only to turn up to the next training and find that no one else in your team or your tennis partner has not practiced. How do I say this? It sucks, big time. When you're the only one pulling your weight, it gets really, really boring. Don't be that guy or girl that doesn't practice between rehearsals. Rehearsal time is for playing as a group, to master balance and dynamics between sections and practice consistency as an ensemble. It's not to have one person practice their part. Do not waste precious rehearsal time learning your part. Rehearsals are there for you to learn how to operate within an ensemble and with the other parts, and for you to relate to others and vice versa. Sticks and mallets. Put them back when you're done. Never use an incorrect mallet or stick on an instrument, and if in doubt, ask your tutor. It's a great way to damage percussion instruments by simply using the incorrect tools to strike an instrument. Percussion instruments are expensive. Surely you do not want to spend your hard-earned cash on replacing keys or skinheads or other percussion parts. Talking. It's pretty simple, don't do it. Talking while the conductor is talking or has stopped the group playing is a huge no-no. You will need to learn how to communicate with your fellow percussion peers without speaking. Some helpful sign language tips. Use your fingers to indicate the number of bars rests that have passed while you're counting. Point to snares that need turning off. Use breath and movement in your body to breathe in time before an entry to indicate to the other players that you're about to start playing. Tap out with 2 fingers on your thigh other parts that you don't play to get better at sight reading, as well as being ready to be a backup if another player is away for any reason. Tapping. Similar to talking, tapping your sticks, holding your tambourine sideways so it jingles incessantly, dropping your sticks or triangle is sloppy. If you want to be a tight percussionist, you need to master the art of being silent. If a conductor asks a section to play without percussion, still mentally practice your part by tapping the rhythm on your thigh. Taking turns. Depending on how big your section is, it is vital that you take turns. Having one player on the one instrument does not allow other players to have a turn. This being said, if you do not practice, are lazy, rock up late to performances or rehearsals, or think it's okay to dominate one instrument, you will not be issued principal parts. This means the most important more than the main part. Music. You are required to have your music as well as other percussion parts, even if you don't play them. Sit or stand. If you're playing, do not sit down. You are required to stand to play. You may sit on a high stool if you're not playing for an entire movement. Other than that, you are required to stand still with your arms either side by your body, in front of you or behind you. No leaning on walls, no leaning on instruments. Stand like a soldier at ease, except if you're on the timpani, you can sit on a stool. Positive attitude. Do you like cranky teachers? Neither do I. So guess what? Teachers don't like cranky students. Attitude is everything. If you think you are too cool for school, you're above the triangle, or you don't want to bother counting your bars rests, well, I've got news for you. You will not last long in any reputable band or orchestra. Conductors don't have time for egos. Leave them at home when you're on your own. Set up. Arrive 10 minutes before the scheduled start time. Help others and then warm up a little. Warming up does not include bashing percussion instruments as loudly as you can or playing while the conductor is clearly trying to stop everyone from playing. Warming up does include rudiments on a practice pad or snare drum, scales on a mallet instrument, and stretching. Rehearsals. Do not leave rehearsals. Go to the bathroom before and after the rehearsal. If you don't play in a piece, remain in the area. Packing up. Do not leave before everything is packed up properly. This means all mallets and sticks are in the stick bags. All covers are on instruments, all snares are off, and timpani skins are not left tuned tight or high. The pedals are off and they are covered. Manners. You can get very, very far in life with good manners. Thank your conductor or your tutor when you leave rehearsal. What to bring? 1. Your stick bag. And this includes sticks, mallets, pencil, pegs, drum key, and your instrument. Try to avoid borrowing instruments and mallets. 2. Music. Yours and your whole sections. 3. A positive attitude. And lastly, be protective of your section. As a percussionist, you are required to show others how to respect percussion equipment. As you already know, drummers and percussionists do not bash their instruments. You play them with carefully prepared technique and skillful execution. If you see other people from other sections coming and bashing the instruments, step up and say something. Explain that they are instruments and that they require a certain technique to ensure that they are not damaged. If you don't have any luck, report any misuse of equipment to a conductor. And as always, Lead by example. Good luck.
Ron Harrison is the author and producer of the Be Rhythmic podcast. Sound design by Be Recording. We couldn't do this podcast without our wonderful tutors and students. For more episodes, go to berhythmic.com.au.